Most gardeners, tend to underestimate the true power of something as simple as fresh-cut grass. What many see as waste after mowing is actually a treasure trove for the soil. Grass clippings, when broken down into humus, transform into the dark, nutrient-rich substance that breathes life back into tired garden beds. But the big question is, how long does it really take for grass clippings to become humus? We decided to track the process closely, and the results reveal exactly what gardeners should expect, along with practical ways to speed things up. Grass clippings are mostly water, nearly 80%, with the rest made up of nitrogen, carbon, and minerals like potassium and phosphorus. Left in a pile, they don't immediately turn into the humus that feeds plants. Instead, they pass through several stages of decomposition. First, microbes feed on the sugars and proteins, causing heat and rapid breakdown. Then, fungi and bacteria work on the tougher fibers like cellulose and lignin. Finally, humification occurs, the stage where organic matter stabilizes into the dark, crumbly material we call humus. Tracking grass clippings from fresh cuttings to humus shows that the timeline varies depending on conditions. In a hot, active compost pile that is turned regularly, grass can break down into finished humus in as little as 90 days. However, in cooler piles or when left in thick layers, it may take 6 months to a full year. The difference lies in how much oxygen, moisture, and microbial activity the clippings are exposed to. Simply dumping a heap of wet clippings on the ground slows decomposition because the pile becomes compacted and starved of air, leading to a slimy mess rather than rich humus. Grass clippings are extremely high in nitrogen. While that makes them a powerful activator for compost, too much nitrogen without enough carbon causes overheating and foul odors. To balance the process, it helps to mix clippings with carbon-rich materials like dried leaves, straw, or shredded cardboard. A practical ratio is 1 part grass clippings to 2 parts dry carbon materials. This ensures steady decomposition, prevents sliminess, and shortens the journey toward humus. Moisture is the lifeblood of microbial activity. When clippings dry out completely, decomposition stalls, but when they are waterlogged, oxygen disappears, and the pile turns anaerobic. The ideal is to keep compost as damp as a wrung-out sponge. For gardeners looking for an exact measure, a helpful approach is to lightly water the compost with about half a gallon of water for every cubic foot of material each time the pile feels dry. This level keeps microbes active and speeds the breakdown of clippings into stable humus. Another factor that determines whether clippings become humus in 3 months or 12 is aeration. Microbes that build humus need oxygen, and a tightly packed pile quickly suffocates them. By turning the pile once every 10 to 14 days, oxygen flows back in, heat is redistributed, and decomposition becomes more uniform. Gardeners who skip this step often find that only the outer layer of clippings decomposes, while the inner core remains matted and slimy for months. Consistent turning ensures the entire pile transforms evenly into dark, crumbly humus. At first, the pile of grass clippings shrinks noticeably within a week or two, giving off heat as microbes work at full speed. Over the next month, the clippings lose their green color and start resembling fibrous brown material. By the 2nd or 3rd month, if well managed, the pile no longer smells of ammonia, but instead carries the earthy scent of healthy soil. Finally, when humification is complete, the material becomes dark, crumbly, and cool to the touch. This final humus is stable, meaning it won't heat up again, and it enriches the soil with long-lasting fertility. Humus made from grass clippings is, honestly, one of the best soil builders available to home gardeners. It improves soil structure, which means it increases both water retention and drainage. Pretty impressive, right? Plus, it feeds soil microbes, supports earthworms, and slowly releases nutrients for your crops. If you mix about 2 to 3 inches of humus into the top layer of soil before planting, you'll create a thriving environment for roots. And, it can also be used as mulch around perennials, helping to lock in moisture while feeding the soil over time. While the process can feel slow, humus is the final reward of patience. Unlike raw compost that continues to decompose, humus remains stable in the soil for years. It binds nutrients, prevents leaching, and acts as the foundation of long-term soil fertility. For gardeners chasing quick results, fresh clippings might seem like the shortcut, but only Humus delivers lasting improvements. The months invested in proper decomposition pay back with healthier crops and richer soil season after season. From our observations, grass clippings transformed into usable humus in about 100 days under optimal conditions: hot composting, regular turning, and balanced moisture. Left unmanaged in a dense pile, the same clippings stretched well over a year before reaching the same stage. This means gardeners hold the power to control the speed of humus formation by managing pile size, airflow, and balance. The process is less about waiting and more about guiding decomposition with care. Every bag of grass clippings holds a secret potential that most lawns waste. With the right approach, what begins as a mound of green waste becomes black gold for the garden. The journey from clippings to humus is not just about time, it's about creating the right environment for microbes to thrive. By maintaining balance, turning often, and keeping moisture levels steady, gardeners can cut the timeline down dramatically. What once seemed like waste turns into the very substance that revives soil, boosts plant health, and sustains future harvests. So the next time you mow your lawn, remember, you're not just trimming grass, you're gathering the raw material for humus, the foundation of thriving soil. If this guide helped you understand the process better, subscribe to Master Gardener and share this with fellow gardeners. Together we can transform simple clippings into lasting fertility for generations of plants to come.